Hey y'all, it's Sheila. I am back again. I am with Mandy at Seek Heavenly Things, and I am with the group of 12 plus of us that is posting everything for Jesus, all the revelations that he's now sharing that's being released out of Daniel 12. Okay? So first, I claim that Jesus came in the flesh, bled and died on the cross, and rose on the third day. He's my Lord and Savior. He's my everything. He finished it all on the cross, past, present, and future sins. There's no works to salvation. Once saved, always saved. Okay? Alright, so this is going to be for 5/20/26, the pre-introductory phase, pre-introductory phase, second phase, part 24. God's physical calendar is 2/1, God's spiritual calendar 8/1, God's true Gregorian is 12/5. So this is a continuation of the messages that had started 6/7/2025 that just continues to grow. Okay, so there was more added yesterday and again today. Why did I say Eve supposedly fell in the garden? Was it perhaps I set it all up inside this simulation? Let's hit my camera. You see, children, there is an underlying explanation for all of these things, just like every word I give Mandy, an underlying explanation. You may not understand every word I am speaking, hence underlining versus underlying, or why I say words that you weren't taught through the English language. Okay. And that is because the way you were all taught here through the dialect of the language that you were given here, the English language was to throw you off, making you doubt that I was speaking. Not only did they change the Hebraic language, they also changed the English language, knowing that my end time plans were for my children. So if they changed everything, how can you decipher what is true and what is false? This is why I tell you how important it is to come to my feet and ask me if I am speaking. Ask me, are these my plans for the end times? You couldn't possibly understand the depths of me, so that means you are missing every single thing that I am giving her through all of these revelations, because you also don't know what the people have changed from my original dialogue of words, changing my revelations to man-made words instead of putting down your pride and asking me why I speak certain words a certain way. You just deem my people to be false. So children, you can't assume that you know every single thing of what she is speaking is wrong when you don't know the true language behind the original origin through definition through my teachings, versus behind the spiritual meaning behind man's interpretation of the word, or that the true meaning of what I, Yeshua HaMashiach, who came in the flesh, bled and died on the cross, and rose on the third day, is bringing to the table. Don't you see that every single thing is my design inside my simulation? So let's go back to why I have created this simulation in the first place, and why I say supposedly Eve fell in the garden. And that is because there's a reason behind all of my creations, and this assimilation of sleep is showing you a glimpse of your future before I actually allowed the sin to happen in the garden. But here's what you all need to know. Did Jesus die inside the assimilation of sleep through God's simulation made in the heavens? Or did he come in the flesh to die outside of the assimilation of sleep to save all mankind for the future? Was it all connected outside the heavens and inside the heavens, connected to the true original flower grid? Well, here's your answer. He died outside the assimilation of sleep by coming in the flesh to save all of the people from their sins, attached to the original flower grid in heaven, and also his death covered the outside creations of heaven as well. That is because your Father set all of that up inside the heavens, because he knew the pole shift was coming and all the worlds were going to merge together. So I set that up when I had created everyone already through the spirits and the organisms and the particles, and all that was put inside Jesus when he went to the cross to die for all of the people's sins. So you see, I set up, sorry if it's still noisy, they're doing more work across the street now. They've moved up. Anyway, okay. So you see, I set that up a certain way to save my people in the future who were created outside the heavens, and that is because it was originally inside the heavens, the spoken frequencies of the Father recognizing his voice all the way through the heavens throughout his people. So salvation was already set up inside the heavens when I kept my people pure in the first heaven. So this is why in the garden, the same spoken frequencies of the Father that woke up Eve in the garden were the same frequencies inside the heavens that were created inside his people. So my people could recognize my true frequencies, just like Eve recognized my frequencies in the garden when I woke her up, showing darkness was in front of her. I did that and woke her up, and that was my ultimate plan, so your father could start the assimilation of sleep. All right, y'all. So that's it for today. Y'all, he's literally spoon feeding y'all this stuff. I mean, he's showing you everything that's been sealed up in the book of Daniel 12 for the end times. So I encourage you to go to his feet and ask him to reveal, you know what we're saying. This is him speaking. So, I encourage you to go yourself and ask him. Okay. All right. Y'all have a blessed one. Remember 1 John 4, 1-4. Jesus came in the flesh, bled and died on the cross, rose on the third day. Test your spirit. The demons will not claim that Jesus came in the flesh. They know him as the Son of God, but they will never admit that he is their Lord and Savior. All right. Have a blessed one. Bye.